Here's a strange thing about being broke. It almost never happens because of one big disaster. You picture going broke as some dramatic event, a medical bill, a job loss, a bad bet. But for most people, that's not it at all. Most people aren't sinking because of one giant hole in the boat. They're sinking because of 100 tiny ones they can't see, each one small enough to ignore, all of them draining at the same time. You bail water your whole life and never understand why the level never drops. So let's actually find the leaks, because once you can see them, they stop being invisible, and a leak you can see is a leak you can choose to plug. Leak number 1 is the most innocent looking, and it's the one you'll defend the hardest. It's the small daily convenience, the coffee on the way to work, the lunch you didn't pack, the delivery fee because cooking felt like too much tonight. And before you roll your eyes, I'm not here to tell you to never buy coffee. That's tired advice, and honestly, it misses the point. The coffee isn't the problem. The autopilot is the problem. It's that you stopped deciding. Somewhere along the way, it became a reflex, a thing that just happens to your money every single day, without a single conscious choice. $7 here, $12 there. You'd never sit down and write a check for what it adds up to in a year, because that number would actually upset you. But broken into tiny daily pieces, it slips right past you. That's the whole trick of this leak. It hides in how small each drop is. Leak number 2 doesn't even need your attention. In fact, it works best when you forget about it completely. Subscriptions. You signed up for the free trial. You meant to cancel. You didn't. And now there's a quiet little army of charges hitting your account every month for things you are not using. The streaming service you watched once. The app you downloaded for one trip. The gym membership that's basically a donation at this point. None of them are big enough to notice on their own, and that's exactly why they survive. Go look right now. Actually look at every recurring charge on your account. Most people find 2 or 3 they completely forgot existed. That's not a budgeting failure. That's a company designing something to be easy to start and quietly painful to stop, and counting on you to never get around to it. Leak number 3 is sneakier because it disguises itself as success. It's lifestyle creep. You get a raise, and within about a month, your spending quietly rises to match it. The raise was supposed to be the win. Instead, it just became the new normal, and you feel exactly as stretched as you did before, on more money. The bigger apartment you didn't really need. The nicer phone every single year when last year's worked perfectly. The upgrade that felt like a treat the first time and became your baseline by the third. Here's what makes this one so dangerous. It doesn't feel like waste. It feels like progress. It feels like you've arrived. But if every raise you ever get is immediately swallowed by a slightly more expensive version of the same life, you can spend 40 years climbing and end up standing in the exact same spot, just paying more for the view. Leak number 4 is almost funny, because it convinces you you're being responsible while you do it. It's the sale, the discount, the deal too good to pass up. You walk in needing nothing, and you walk out with a bag, feeling clever because you saved 40%. But you didn't save anything. You spent. Saving 40% on something you were never going to buy is not saving. It's just a more flattering word for spending. The original price, the slashed price, the countdown timer, the 2-for-1, all of it is engineered to make spending feel like winning. And the receipt that says how much you saved is the most expensive sentence in retail, because it gets you to do the whole thing again next week. Leak number 5 might be the most expensive one on this entire list, and nobody talks about it because it feels normal now. It's paying to spend. The Buy Now, Pay Later button at checkout that splits $40 into 4 easy payments, as if $40 was ever the hard part. The credit card balance you carry, paying interest every month, for the privilege of having already spent money you didn't have. Think about how backwards that is. You are paying a fee for the service of going into the hole. Money flows out of your life just to let more money flow out of your life. This leak doesn't just drain the bucket, it charges you rent on the hole in the bottom of it. Leak number 6 is the big one, the quiet giant that dwarfs all the coffee combined, and people defend it the most fiercely of all. The brand new car. Not transportation. Transportation is cheap and solved. I mean the new car, with the new car smell, that loses a huge chunk of its value the moment you drive it off the lot, and keeps bleeding value every year you own it, while you make payments on something worth less every single month. A reliable used car gets you to the exact same places. But the new one isn't really about getting places, it's about being seen getting there. Which brings us straight to the last leak, because it's secretly underneath half of this list. Leak number 7 is the engine behind the spending you can't explain. It's buying things to impress people who, honestly, are not even watching. The outfit for the photo, the gadget you mentioned to a coworker, the round of drinks you bought to be the generous one. We're wired to care what the group thinks, and companies have spent a century learning to rent that wiring back to you. But here's the cold little secret at the center of it. The people you're trying to impress are mostly busy trying to impress you. Everyone's performing for an audience that's too distracted by their own performance to applaud. You're spending real money, money that could have been your freedom, to win a competition the other side doesn't even know is happening. Let's add it up, not in dollars, but in what those dollars could have become. Because this is the part that actually stings. Every one of these leaks isn't just costing you what you spent, it's costing you what that money would have grown into. A few hundred a month, quietly leaking out across the years, isn't a few hundred a month. Invested instead, it's the down payment you keep saying is impossible. It's years shaved off how long you have to work. The real price of the leaks was never the coffee, or the subscription, or the new car. It was the future version of you that money was supposed to build, quietly drained away, one painless little drop at a time. But here's why I told you any of this. And it's not to make you feel bad about a latte. It's the opposite. This is the most hopeful math there is, once you flip it around. Because a leak is the easiest kind of money problem to fix. You don't have to earn more, or get lucky, or be smarter than anyone. You just have to stop the water from running out the bottom. Plug even 2 or 3 of these, the forgotten subscriptions, the autopilot, the new car you don't need, and you don't feel deprived at all. Because you weren't enjoying most of it consciously anyway. You just quietly redirect that same money towards something that grows instead of something that evaporates. The leaks were never keeping you comfortable. They were keeping you exactly where you are. So this week, do one thing. Don't overhaul your whole life. Just go find the leaks. Look at the recurring charges. Notice the autopilot. Catch yourself the next time a sale makes you feel clever. You don't have to plug all of them today. You just have to see them, because the ones you can see were never the ones that beat you. If this made you look at your next small purchase a little differently, stick around. We've got a whole series on the quiet money decisions that shape your entire life, while everyone's distracted looking for the one big disaster that was never really the problem.